my microphone is on. Yes. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for that wonderful song, Total Praise. You know, last week when we were in Los Angeles, how many of you were there and how many of you watched? I think probably all of you watched. Oh, it was amazing the way they were singing. Uh, I could totally see that total praise in there. Like there were two ladies in between the pews in an aisle and singing like with the whole energy they have. They're standing like this. Oh, like, oh my God, I was amazed to see that. That's kind of, they don't have any more bit of energy. They're using the entire body to sing. I never see someone singing like that. And of course, that choir leader was amazing. And I think his name is Jason McGee or something. He was kind of really amazing person. That was totally awesome. And also I want to thank our young members who gave testimonies, and I think they have much more to share. But I was reading many of their testimonies they have written, and to send to true parents and send to Dr. Kim, probably I think we should send to our entire membership so that we can read what kind of experience they had there. And it was amazing. Everyone could really inherit what True Mother was speaking, and kind of really inheriting the spirit of true parents and spirit of God. And I'm so happy that our young members could be there. And even for my children, two of my kids were there. They really loved Sangjinim's talk and also True Mother's talk. It was really great. And also there was an IAPD conference. Many of our leaders, religious leaders, as well as political leaders attended the program. And I believe for everyone, whatever I heard from different people, they all enjoyed, they want to support, continuously invest for God's providence. And also I do believe it was really a very important providential event happened there. And I want to thank all of the leadership involved there. And also, when this kind of things happened, it really goes back to people who kind of initiated those things. And I heard our relationship with Bishop Noel Jones started with one of our Japanese sisters, Mrs. Naoka Hiraki, probably more than 15 years ago. And then with our ACLC leader, Reverend Mark Tengen, they continued that relationship. They nurtured that relationship. And then with him going to Korea to attend that 80,000 rally, then our young people dancing Mujokung in his church, and then it really opened up. And that was, it wasn't just a miracle happened right there in few minutes, but it was a miracle, a planned miracle. It was a providential thing happened over like 15, 20 years of time. Yeah, that is really amazing. Let's give a big round of applause to people who made that happen. And also, as they already mentioned, I want to thank our CARP leader, Tomomi Fukuda, who recently sent by True Mother and sent by Bishop Kim to our community, and also our youth pastor, Yasutaka, who decided to take our young members to West Coast, and also our CARP leaders, Keisetsu, Takafumi, Sasha, and also not Hannah, Shona, and all of them. Thank you so much. It was really great. Thank you. And of course, without your support and prayers, it wouldn't be successful. Remember, I asked your prayers before I leave, and I truly felt that. And especially when I started driving a 15-passenger van and in Los Angeles, I suddenly felt, oh my God, I should not have done this. I was so scared that traffic is so different. They are driving so fast, and I was kind of scared to death, driving with the 14 young kids with me. And we took 2 days to learn how to drive in Los Angeles. By the time I learned, then I had to return. Third day, I enjoyed driving there. Until then, I was kind of really scared. But with your prayers, things worked very well. Thank you so much. And to me, it was, I want to share some of my reflections or the things really touched me. Was the most important thing was that Bishop Noel Jones welcoming True Mother to not only Bishop Jones and his community, really embracing True Parents to his community, to that church. And True Mother's talk to me, it was amazing. I felt so proud of our True Parents and the entire speech. I read over this week several times, and I want to read that again and again. And to me, it was an encapsulation of the whole providential history and telling me what I should do right now. How can I be a part of this heavenly providence? How can I be part of that, creating that channel right now, right here, in my family, in my community? What can I do? That was True Mother's talk to me. And that was True Parents' heart for me. And that was God's heart for me. And I felt True Parents came there to bless people who gathered there. And it was totally taking care of people's marriage. And I'm repeating because Mr. Burns correct my pronunciation. And to me, that was amazing. And then another big thing, or the biggest thing, happened with me during Mother's speech was Mother asking us. Actually, it was so hard for me to pick a portion of the reading, as I was reading many times to choose. And of course, I wanted to choose this part, and then when I look, all the entire thing is so important. I can't avoid any of that. That was my feeling. And I want to suggest you to read it over and over. Then you get more and more deep insights about the whole life of our life and the entire providential history. And here I felt one thing, it was almost like it strikingly hit me, was True Mother's speech was Mother talking like this. However, even Mary, the mother of Jesus, the family of Zechariah, the Jewish leaders, and the people of Israel did not fulfill their responsibilities in relation to Jesus. And I know most of you are watching True Mother's speech, recent speeches all the time. And she is really talking about this almost every speech she is giving. Do you agree with me? She talked about, ever since I remember the first time probably she talked about this during our ACLC convocation in either 2014 or 15 in Las Vegas. I was there, and she was talking about True Mother's, Mary's responsibility. And probably she spoke about that earlier, but that was the first time I really noticed that. And she was talking about that in ACLC convocation towards a crowd of hundreds of pastors, Christian ministers. She's talking about that. And then this time, It was something special for me because I got it in a very, very different way. And the first time when she spoke that, I felt like suddenly my feeling was, why True Mother is speaking about Mother Mary like this? And to me, Mother Mary is like my mother. She's so close to me. And she is almost like a living being in the family I grew up. And then I never felt she did not do anything. For me, she was always doing things. And she was a symbol of unconditional love to me. And any time when I look towards her face, I can feel happiness, I can feel peace. And that is when I was really young, my parents dedicated me to Mother Mary. And so I always feel that special connection. Then I felt a little sad that when I heard about, of course, in principle, I learned many times, but this was very strongly I felt, little bit pain. But this time I really understood, or at least in my way, I understood what True Mother was saying. And especially during that as she continued her speech, saying that it's not only them, it's not only the people who were surrounding Jesus, Zechariah, Jewish leaders, and the entire Jewish community, Israelites, and even people afterwards, they could not understand the essence of Jesus, why Jesus came to this earth. Today, all over the world, the Christianity is celebrating Palm Sunday. And today is the day we remember as the day Jesus, as the Prince of Peace, coming into Jerusalem as a humbled, victorious person on the back of a donkey coming in, and then the crowd cheering for him, Hosanna to him, and welcoming him to the city of Jerusalem, which is the center of Judaism, in a way, center of the world that time, center of at least the spiritual world, the center of religion that time. And then you can see, within few days, everything is going upside down. And I could really see in that moment, surrounding that time, it happened because there was no one around Jesus who could understand the mission of Jesus. Why God sent Jesus. Why Jesus gave his only Son completely to a world where it is not sure he can be accepted, but God did everything God could to prepare a place for him, prepare a country for him, prepare people for him, so that he can work with them, and he can work with a prepared family, a prepared people. But it went upside down because even those prepared people could not understand him. And for that moment was probably the saddest moment for God after Adam and Eve's failure. God was waiting for that moment that Jesus to restore that failure happened. Imagine that person who coming to save, then finally he had to ask to his mother, "Woman, why you have involved me into this. What is that question meaning? What is the meaning of that question? Jesus asking to his mother, Mother, don't you understand why I came here? Mother, don't you understand that you are chosen by God to raise me up? Mother, don't you understand that you are here to help me to find my bride and get married and start a God-centered family? He is even asking, thinking about Zechariah, who was the high priest that time. Don't you understand what you are supposed to do to support God right now? As I'm listening and reading True Mother's speech, that is coming to me. And also, it's not just coming to me as Jesus' voice, but it also coming to me as my own children asking me, as my own community asking to me, what do I have to do with this with me? What do my actions every day has to do something with the providence? Am I in the right place? And True Mother is asking me, reminding me that your children need you, just as Mother Mary was supposed to raise her child, who is the Messiah, and my own children, who are also born into a sinless, through a sinless birth. Am I really supporting my child? Am I really supporting the sinless children in my community? Are we all doing that? And that was the reminder for me when I heard True Mother telling us the responsibilities of Mary, the responsibilities of Zechariah, the responsibilities of Jewish leaders, the responsibilities of Jewish people. It is directly reminding us that we have to do that right now in our own families. And that's how, when she talked about Mother Mary of Zechariah, she is not focusing on the things they did not do, but focusing on the things they should have done, and that right now what we can do that, how we can fulfill that, how we can restore that. And she continued her speech by saying that Emperor Constantine proclaimed Christianity as the state religion. And it was a momentous time for Christianity. But immediately afterwards, there were rivalry, there were problems, and then they could not really continue that growth with the true essence of Christianity, the essence of Jesus. And also from AD 800, in fact, from the Christmas time to AD 1800, Holy Roman Empire controlled the whole world, at least the Western world. And True Mother mentioned that even after Christianity and Christian missionaries went all over the world, still what happened? After some time, the communism emerged from the same area where Christianity thrived. Why it happened like that? Why that amazing Son of God who sacrificed his life in order to continue God's providence could not completely, or other people could not completely understand why he came to this earth. And in certain way, when we look, we can see there were so many amazing missionaries who gave up their life just as Jesus gave up his life. And there were so many missionaries, very good missionaries, who invested completely. But there were also people, powerful people, abused the situation for their personal gains. And that's why it could not really happen properly the way God expected. And right now, imagine, we are looking back, we all are in spiritual world after 1,000 years. We are looking back. Hard to imagine that. But we don't want to have another failure. That's why our true parents reminding us each and every time when she speaks, please do not have that failure happen during Jesus' time. And they could not understand the true mission of Jesus, the true essence of Jesus. And just like that, you could have that same mistake. Do not understand the true essence of God right now. Do not understand the true essence of true parents right now. And expand everything. We don't want to have that. And that's why True Mother is saying that just as Mother Mary was supposed to support Jesus in finding a bride, and just as Jesus was waiting and asking Mother, Mother, where were you? Where are you? Can you help me to find me a bride? There are children in our community many times. I need your help. But maybe they are not communicating that. They may not be telling to you that. I have sometimes experiences even with my children. They are rather young, but sometimes they go through kind of, feels like I can sense something missing when I talk to them. So many times, try and then finally they say, I don't have any friends in school. And many of our children can be facing that. But we need to be there for them. And then we are fulfilling what Mother Mary could not do for Jesus. When our children go through difficulties in their college, in the university, we need to be for them. Many times they're not even able to come and tell us, share that. We need to be alert than anyone else for our children. And then we are fulfilling. There is, many times we misunderstand the word providence. God's providence is, if you look at the word, the meaning of the word providence is that everything we do, all the preparations for a future good outcome. That is what providence. Every action we do in order to bring in something, a greater outcome. It is not one program, it's not one celebration, it's our whole life. It's our sacrifices we do for our children. It's our sacrifices we do for our community. It's our sacrifices, our investments, our planned investments we do in order to raise a God-centered community, a God-centered family, raise a God-centered child. When we do that, that's an amazing providential work. And when we do that, we are doing the exact same thing as Mother Mary would raise Jesus in a proper way. Just by raising our children, our child, we are doing that. Otherwise, many times, our kids are crying to us. And, sometimes I go through things like, some parents are pushing me for supporting their children's blessing and things to do. Even though that is, I'm getting pushed, I'm so happy in my heart to see how much those parents are investing to really support their child in getting blessed. And also sometimes it is for education for their children. Sometimes it is for, in different ways, supporting their children. And that's an amazing thing to see. That is what true parents want to see from us. And that's what true parents reminding us by sharing these providential stories for us. And sometimes, we may misunderstand that, every one of our children go through different ways. And none of our children's life we can compare. And our own, like one child's life may be different from, different as another child's life. And everywhere, no matter how they go through, no matter how happy they are, no matter how difficult it is, we have to be there and support them in the way we can so that one day they can truly, every time, they can feel the presence of God through our presence in their life. Are you okay? I'm talking too loud. Yeah, I can feel that my throat is getting... Yeah, it's a really beautiful day for us. Last week you were showing that we will have rains today, but I feel like the best day so far in this spring season, really great. And I felt when True Mother asked Noel Jones, Bishop Jones, at the end of his sermon, will you continue this fire? And also she mentioned that it was in the 5th subregion it happened. And will it go from 5th to Midwest and West to Midwest and to the East Coast? And I wanted to loudly say yes and shout. And I want to continue that in all of our lives and in every day in our life. And so that we can feel the vibrancy of God's presence every day in our life. Not just through the biggest programs or big events, but by really fulfilling, by connecting that big thing When True Mother comes, True Mother cannot come to visit us in every home. It's so difficult. We are we are a big community. And that's why she's coming to this big programs. But she's telling to each one of us personally, do you understand? And do you take this fire? And will you bring that to your home? And will you take care of your children? And will you stand up for them? And will you stand up for your neighbors? And will you be a person who can really be there as the parents, as the Messiah figures for them? Will you bring my love to everyone? And that way, we are fulfilling God's desire. We are answering true parents' call to us in fulfilling that God's dream. And today, I really want to encourage all of you. As True Mother, when True Mother mentioned about the historical failures happened thousands of years, I really want us, our community, to restore that. The things happen in all throughout that. Imagine that 1,000 years Christianity controlled the world. And still, we could not spread the essence of Jesus everywhere, essence of God everywhere. And now our 2020 vision is restoring 7 countries, at least 7 countries. And compared to what Christianity had for 1,000 years, 7 countries is nothing compared to what Holy Roman Empire controlled for 1,000 years. And when you study about Holy Roman Empire in UTS, we did a lot. And some historians say it was neither holy, it was neither Roman, it was not an empire. They wanted to, it was a messy kind of thing because it was not based on the thing Jesus taught. It was not based on the thing Jesus wanted to establish. It was just a lot of corruption. It was a lot of things people did just for themselves. But let us, when we restore the countries, let us do it with the true sense God want us to do. True parents want us to do. A place where our young members and their next generations can live in peace and harmony. They can trust each other. They can experience true love in their communities, in their families. And we as parents, we can truly provide what they really need. And they should not be crying like Jesus cried by saying that, "Mother, where are you when I need you?" And that is not just for towards parents. And we are in our community, we are pastors, youth pastors, young adult pastors, blessed family ministry leaders, community leaders, and we are uncles and aunts to our young kids in our community. And let us fulfill that. And so that Jesus' cry, that which our true mother reminded us that, Jesus was crying for his mother to fulfill the responsibility. And I believe, a lot of children in this world is crying for us to fulfill what we need to fulfill for them. What is truly true parents want to give to them. True mother going around the world to remind us that we need to create God-centered families. We need to take care of our children. We need to take care of children beyond our families. We need to take care of communities, societies, and countries in a true sense. And then people who are looking for God, will not be crying like that. And if somebody is crying, let us be there for them. That is the essence of everything our true parents are doing. That is the reason why true parents created these amazing organizations. The reason why true parents created church also same way. Reason why true parents created CARP is to provide that parental love for children who need that in the campuses. And let us fulfill that role. And so in that way, we will be fulfilling the call of our beloved true mother and what she is reminding us. You know, last week I read that speech, True Mother's speech, so many times. And it reminds me the faces of children, not just children. Sometimes adults are crying for the presence of God. And let us continuously invest ourselves with a true sense so that we can truly continue what True Mother asks us to do. True Mother asks us, did you get that fire? And that fire is the fire that burning in God's heart to take care of his children. And let us do that so that God's children will not cry in vain, but when they cry, we can provide for them. And I know, and all of you are trying to do your best and continue that. And also when you look towards your children, do not think that that's just a personal thing. It's an amazing providential thing you are doing. When you take care of your children, that's a great providential act. There is no greater providential act than taking care of our children and bringing the love of God and allowing them to experience God's love in your family, in your home. Sometimes that may need a lot of forgiveness, a lot of compassion, and a lot of patience. And let us continue real providence, which our true parents started. Remember, providence means every action you are doing for a greater outcome, for God and for true parents. And thank you so much for all of your hard work. And God bless you. And God bless our community. Thank you.